Welcome everybody, Red Arrow 23 here, time for another edition to the Boom Beach Playbook. Today we're going to be adding Tarsier. Let's boom this beach. So today we've got Snark Tail, aka Snarky, aka Magic Snatch, taking care of Tarsier. So we're going to use this one as our template. So let's check out the hit. Feel free to check out all your GBE, count out all your flares and smokes and things. So we've got a pretty standard looking flare landing. The beach is a little bit hot, so we're using some smoke on the entry. And look at that. We can lose a delay. Lost the delay a little bit there, that's fine. And then we're moving up to between the sniper towers with the double smoke, flaring on the core, battle orders activated, and getting our shocks out. Great hit from Snarky. Do we have to critter? Got some critters out. Boom! Down it goes with the standard 2 medkits. I like it. Okay, let's break it down. So, if this rocket launcher, if you are having a hot beach, it's pretty hard to do a flag landing just because they're going to stay so spread. If you did like a flag landing here, for example, and then flared up to anchor near any of these defenses, it might work normally, but with this rocket launcher you're just going to come under fire and you're not going to be able to protect your Zookas that much. Flare landing is normally the way to go, because even when you got these rocket launchers here, they're going to be on you straight away, and even this one here. So flare land, usually the way to go. You could even use a boat of heavies to distract something, but I would suggest 99% of the time just go with a flare landing. We are going to be going to 8 o'clock on this one, but the other options are 6 o'clock or 6:30 and anywhere between sort of 10 and 9 o'clock. So those are your 3 spots. A lot of people really like going from 9 o'clock. I just like to look at all the options. I wouldn't usually go from between the sniper towers, but it worked out really well this time. So let's check it out. You just obviously want to be shocking all the splash damage that's around. But here we go. Let's check out the flare landing. Either way, whenever you're doing a flare landing and you're going to be going obviously directly to a spot, you need to make sure that you're lining up your angles. So here we've got the 2 smoke landing coming in from the side, that's giving us heaps of time, and then we're going to flare up. And what we're looking is a perfect 45-degree angle from the beach all the way to a finishing spot. That's going to keep our Zookas as grouped as possible. A little bit of a peek out the side there, but that's all good. And then we're going to flare up, get those smokes out early, and then we can get our double smoke. So it's working out pretty well so far. We've got Brick in there. We can remember we can activate Brick as soon as we are sure she's not going to poke out of the smoke. If she pokes out of the smoke after we press battle orders, she's going to battle order. That's what she wants to do. So once she's sort of settled, or around about now, I would be pushing battle orders. And then it's one less thing to think about once you get there. You can flare onto the core, check that you've got the same amount of GBE that you need to throw your critters and shocks. That's what I like to do anyway. After I flare the core and I've done battle orders, and then we're looking at our shocks. So the things that are standard, you're going to need all 3 of these shock launchers, all 6 of those shock launchers and 2 shocks. If you're at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock or between snipe towers. If you're at 6 o'clock, remember that you'll need all 3 of these, but you don't necessarily need all of those. So you'll need the bottom 2 at max. So you probably only really need the bottom 1, but it's an easy shock just to do the bottom 2. Don't even worry about trying to get all 3, because this one's not going to be in range. See a lot of people trying to go for that hard shock and they're missing the bottom 1, and then they roast them. So watch out for that. When you're looking at the best way to approach it, whether you're looking at 10, 9, 8 or 6 o'clock, just be looking for the minimum amount of shocks. That's really what we want to do here. So you can see that from underneath, the mortar's going to be out of range. We're going to need to shock the rocket and 2 doom cannons, these machine guns. And then the deceiving thing about these shocks, people miss these shocks all the time. I see it all the time. The deceiving thing about this is it's really hard, because the body, your mind wants to use the rocket launchers as your reference mark. So you kind of shock between the rocket launchers. But as you can see, those rocket launchers are slightly above the middle line of the 3 shock launchers. So you need a reference off the middle shock launcher. Obviously, they're not always like most common is 3 shock launchers and 2 rocket launchers, but as you can see up here, we got 2 sniper towers. So make sure you're using whatever this middle defense is, use that as your reference. You will definitely get the other rocket launcher if you're slightly biased on the left hand side, and you hit that middle, you'll get it every time. Don't forget these machine guns, because sometimes people do and they just rip them up, and sometimes there's some rocket launchers over here, so just check all of those ranges. So let's have a look, see how we did. Fleet onto the core, activate battle orders, and then we can throw out our critters and shocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shocks, and those shocks were definitely in the right position, so great, awesome stuff. This rocket launcher is out of range, and we're just hammering the core. Don't know if we necessarily needed to shock. No, we did. We definitely did. I'm not even going to talk out of my ass right now. So there we go, 2 shocks on the rocket launchers down low, machine guns to the left, and then we're throwing critters just to distract the machine gun for a little bit, and then the core goes down. Boom! That's pretty much the hit in total. Be sure to comment down below if you take out this base any differently, and why. Sometimes it does look a little different, sometimes the shocks are different, sometimes a different position is better from the core. Sometimes you don't need smoke on the beach, so it's a lot easier. So yeah, that's Tarsier. Give us a comment down below on all of those things, whether you take it out any differently and why, if it works out better, and then I'll try and do a new playbook video for it. Using brick is probably the best idea. If you want to use, you could use Sparky to save yourself a shot, but I wouldn't worry, I'd just use brick, get the damage, get your boost on, and give us a thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe for more Boom Beach.